Is Meta giving up on virtual reality? It looks like it could be the case. So, see you later. So Meta is planning on reducing Reality Labs by 30%. Now, Reality Labs is basically the VR division of, well, Meta. And it got me thinking because 30% of 70 billion is a substantial amount of reduction. Now, since 2021, apparently they have spent, or they've lost, $70 billion, according to this report. And that's since 2021. And basically, the upcoming cuts could reduce spending by $4 billion a year. So that's a substantial amount of money to be reducing on something that you're focusing heavily on. Or are they? Because let's face it, since the glasses came out, can no one see where it's going? Because all I have thought since they've decided, the last few years of releasing AI glasses or AR glasses, and let's face it, they're not really, are they? They've got a camera in them, they've got a microphone, and they've got some headphones in them, and the new one's got a display that's probably, worse than what you'd get on a Nokia 5110 back in the day. Okay, it's colour, but you know what I mean. The actual quality, it's nowhere near the Quest 3. It's never gonna be because I don't even know if that's possible at this current point in time. Anyway, the fact that they're reducing that by that much starts to give you a question on where they're actually going. And that my biggest question from it is, it looks like not only a reduction in VR related products, but I don't know when the Quest 4 will be coming. Now, from what I've seen, the rumours, and let me know in the comments down below if you've seen something different. From what I've seen, the rumour is that they have pushed back their 2026 Quest 4 to 2027. And that's another year of not having a new headset, which will make the Quest 3 3 years old, and the Quest 3S, no, maybe 4 years old. When did it come out? So 2023, the Quest 3 came out. So that would be 2024, 25, 26, 27. 4 years. 4 years for a new headset. And from what it looks like, it is not going to be a Quest 3 replacement. It looks like it's going to be an Apple Vision Pro competitor, especially when you hear that they've just employed the UX UI designer, or the head designer from Apple. They've poached him, which I found quite interesting because they've already copied off Apple when it comes to the layout of the new Navigator. So maybe they're just covering themselves and saying, well, he designed it when he comes on board. I don't know when that'll be. I don't know if there's actually even started yet or not. You start to ask questions. You really do. And I mean, if I was that guy, like, all I can assume is that their new focus, obviously, is on the glasses. Are they really expecting to be able to run everything on just glasses alone? Or are we going to start seeing a mobile device, potentially, that links to the glasses? Who knows where they're going to go with this? I mean, it's going to be a good 10 years before we get to the point where those glasses are anywhere near a VR headset. And maybe the Quest 4 will be the last headset. You've got to ask all these questions, because if they're cutting it by that much, how many games are we going to be seeing? How much virtual reality content are we actually going to be seeing? And do we need to be starting to rely on things like Steam Frame that actually supply the content? And I don't know. I just think 30% of a reduction of a company is a lot of money and a lot of staff potentially. That doesn't seem to have been talked about, but that generally suggests that people have been either let go or are being moved elsewhere. That's just a theory. You know, they might all be keeping their jobs, so that's not been announced or anything. But I mean, you can only assume that that 30% is related to everything, not just, you know, production of games or headsets. It's related to, like, you know, literally people, real people. So that's also interesting. But I just kind of wanted to make this video on the fact that where do we see Meta going? Do we see them really releasing many more headsets? Is the focus of the headsets going to be what we'd want, or, you know, what do you want from a headset? In my opinion, I use it for an all-round thing. Games, movies, and working as well. But do we see a focus on something else? Something not... I mean, games not really being a focal point. The AR side of things coming through a lot more. I don't know. As someone who really wants VR to keep going, Meta have probably been the biggest force when it comes to pushing that. For them to reduce it by 30%, I don't really feel as though it's been talked enough by the fact that, you know, when Pika announced that they were reducing staff and such and their focus on VR, like, all you ever saw about was the fact that Pika was shutting down. And I think they've proven that that's not the case. They're from what I've read, what I've heard, the plans are that they are releasing a new headset next year, which again will be more than what Meta have done in the last. Do we count the Quest 3S? That's up to you. That's up to you. It's a good headset. It's a good starter headset, but it is just a Quest 2 revamped so that they can make new games that don't work on the Quest 2, which make you need to buy the Quest 3. For example, Beat Saber. I don't know if you guys have tried playing that on the Quest 2 at all, but that's thinking. I'm rambling now. The worry I have is that this seems to be sort of swept under the rug, but, you know, the reduction on this will have an effect on everything. It will have an effect on Horizon OS. It will have an effect on Horizon Wilds. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but Horizon Wilds is very integrated into the whole system now of Horizon. I mean, they've literally renamed everything Horizon. I'm assuming the next headset will probably be called Horizon rather than Quest, because Quest seems to have been removed from a lot of things. So who knows? Maybe we won't actually see a Quest 4 because it will be called the Horizon headset. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.